Good morning. I'd like to call our annual meeting, business meeting to order. I do think we have a quorum. Next item on our agenda, we do have a quorum. First of all, we got some things to do. Sorry. First off is our invocation. I'm going to ask Judy Little from Surrey County, please come and give our invocation.
Good morning, everyone. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for those of us who have gathered here today to continue the business of VACo. We ask your blessings over this meeting, and we ask your blessings over our safe travels home. We God give you the glory for all that we've done, and we give you the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Judy. Now I'd ask for everyone to please stand for our pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have our first thing on our agenda is we have our minutes of our previous annual meeting. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any changes or corrections need to be made to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So approved. And I lost mine.
I did that.
Okay, it's down to the President's report, my comments. I'd like to say, over the past year, I've enjoyed the distinguished honor of serving as our association's president. The opportunity to fill this unique role has been a joy and a privilege, providing experiences I will not forget. I've gotten to know many of you and have learned about your unique communities, and some of you have even shared stories of yourself and your families. This is what I'll miss the most, being with you all, pursuing a common good and knowing our efforts do make a difference. Thank you for making the past year a good one. It's true, much of VACo is about relationships and teamwork, but we also are strong in advocacy. This past year, we fought for equal taxation authority, and even one of our bills was only nearly defeated in the General Assembly. I believe we are being heard, and I know that VACo will continue to fight, and I'm proud of the work we've done legislatively to set the groundwork. Being VACo President provided me an opportunity to participate in our educational program and in incentives. I attended the VACo Chairpersons Institute and engaged with chairs and vice chairs who were training to enhance their leadership skills. I also spearheaded the revitalization of the Virginia Rural Caucus. I'm confident that the caucus, under the enthusiastic chair Bill Shepley, will continue to work to inform and support rural counties while building relationships with our suburban and urban counterparts. I'd like to thank the VACo Executive Committee and the VACo Board of Directors. I've truly enjoyed our time together. I will always remember the support and inspiration I've received from all of you. I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the Wythe County Board of Supervisors for their support and encouragement this past year. Lastly, but mostly, I'd like to thank my wife, Debbie. We've been married 36 years, and she's been a rock. I mean, she's been with me through thick and thin, and she's just a wonderful person. As I leave this role, I take pride in knowing that VACo has been strengthened over the last year. I'm confident that Steve Bowen will lead us towards greater things, and I believe that his knowledge and experience will serve us well. Steve, congratulations on your work. Thank you. I will soon return to my life as a citizen, but I will be following VACo and remembering all the good times we've had together. Thank you. And now, next item is our financial report. Aaron Hawkins from Robinson Farmers Cox.
Mr. President, before Mr. Hawkins comes up, I just want to give a short financial report. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Donald Hart, and I'm your Secretary-Treasurer. I want to speak on behalf of Dean and Magnificent Vicki. If you've never met Magnificent Vicki, there she is. She can do wonders. It's just wonderful working with her. What she can do with numbers and money is it's just unreal to see. Also, on behalf of your Budget Committee, this, which is Meg Bumke from Stafford, Billy Kiger from Rockingham, Lawrence Simpkins from King and Queen, and Craig Meadows from Montgomery. This team, all of us work hard. I want you to know that we take a conservative approach to VACo's finances. The finances are strong. There are no red flags. We were in the black, finished the last year in the black. The first quarter is also in the black. We like to underestimate income and overestimate expenses so that we always have a little bit more in the money on the income side and a little bit less that we spent on the other side. So we try to do that and make sure that all of your investments are taken care of, well insured, that they're used, and they are in very solid places so that there's no risk, that VACo would have a risk. So we try to do that all the time. I'm very proud to say that, again, for another year, we had our audit from Robinson, Farmer, and Cox, and we had no comments, a very clean audit, no comments, edits, or anything at all. We're very, very proud of that, and that's because of Vicki right there, the Magnificent. So, this is the third year in a row that our audit came back clean like that, and we're very, very proud of that. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Aaron Hawkins for Robinson, Farmer, and Cox. Hello, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I should be able to keep this to no more than an hour. Just kidding. I'm kind of a new face, as you can see, this year. My name's Aaron Hawkins, and I kind of took over for Ann Wall. Was heavily involved in the audit process, and actually have been for the past few years as well. You know, just to kind of give you a brief synopsis of what we do, we audit VACo, but then we also audit the incorporated business type activities that the VACo Services provides as well, and we issue financial statements with opinions on both of those. And in both of those reports, we had unmodified opinions, which in our business as auditors is the best that we can give. For the VACo Services that I told you about, we also file and prepare a tax return for you all, and that was e-filed successfully probably a month or two ago. To kind of just, usually I try to point out some key facets throughout the year, key numbers that you might be able to look at if you're able to get your hands on a report. But if you really just looked at it analytically, you know, we give you these financial statements on a comparative basis, so you can compare 2019 and 2018, and there's not really a whole lot that jumps out in terms of big changes. So things kind of just fell in line with 2018. There was, as he mentioned, positive increases in your net assets, I think on both, well, net assets on your main VACo report, and then an increase on your retained earnings on your VACo Services. I don't really have any other things to say other than the staff in place was just a pleasure to work with and kept things efficient and effective from an audit standpoint. You know, and people that we work with being Dean, Vicki, John, and the rest of the staff. Nothing but compliments from me. And if there's any questions from anyone, feel free to ask them now, or feel free to get in touch with Vicki. You know, you're just sitting at home enjoying snow and you just want to read through this report. Just feel free to reach out and we'll be glad to get back in touch with you.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the financial report and accept the audit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Donna. Next item is our general counsel report. Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate following the auditors because it might make my report seem more interesting. This year, I continue to work to focus on acting as a legal resource to our executive director, our staff, our executive committee, and our board of directors, and also as a resource to our county and member counties, their elected officials, their administrators, and their county attorneys. I work closely with county attorneys as an active member of the Local Government Attorneys Association, and was invited this spring to represent VACo and speak to the group on legislative issues affecting localities. So we enjoy a really good relationship with that group. This has been an exciting year from the standpoint of publications. Every year we update our board meeting manual, and that's a really sort of a short pamphlet that helps you run meetings. It's got some parliamentary procedures and motions, but this year, at long last, we were able to publish a brand new county supervisors manual, and that is quite a valuable and hefty resource. It's a big book. It's a great resource for county officials and their staffs, and we work really closely. It was a large undertaking, and we worked with our partners at Sands Anderson to get this publication. It hadn't been updated since 2006. And also, many of your county attorneys worked on chapters of this book, and they worked tirelessly to make this resource relevant and up to date. And we're really proud of that and hope that if you don't have a copy, you get a copy. We had them for sale at our registration desk. We have order forms in your bags, and we're very, very proud of this resource. This concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Phyllis. Next is our executive director's report, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think we've had a great conference. I've heard from many of you throughout the conference that we've had some of the best sessions. We've had some of the best attended sessions out there, really hot issues. So I think that things have gone well, all in all, and I think the hotel's been great. I really want to thank them for their work with us this year. But just a little bit about facts about the conference. I've got to thank Meg Bonke. Meg was our conference chair this year, helped us really identify some hot issues, some hot topics that we can have some sessions on. And Meg, thank you for your work with that. Based on our count, looks like we had about 930 attendees total throughout all the days, about 930, which according to my records is about the second highest we've had in the last 10 years, which is a great conference. Give yourself a hand. That was great. But along with Meg in putting together this conference, you have a great VACo team to do this. And if I can just take a minute and identify and recognize our VACo team. Jeremy Bennett. Jeremy, wave to everybody in the back. Jeremy is one of our lobbyists. Katie Boyle. Katie, raise your hand. Katie's one of our lobbyists also. Carol Cameron. Carol here? Carol's over here. Carol was in the exhibit hall working diligently with our exhibitors in there. Phyllis Arico, General Counsel. Gage Harder, our Director of Communications. Gage. Angela Yonkins. Angela is our Director of Education. Angela. Oh, she got that. Okay. John Candris, our IT guy. Thank you, John. Joe Lurch, one of our lobbyists. Chris McDonald, one of our lobbyists. Valerie Russell. Valerie, are you? Oh, Valerie. Everybody knows Valerie's voice. Valerie is, when you call VACo, she's right there on the phone all the time. The first person you see when you come up, get off the elevator. Vicki Steinruck, Vicki, our CPA and financial person who keeps everything in line. I really want to thank the VACo team. Did a really good job this year. And really, we couldn't have put on this conference without everyone's work. A little bit, I'm going to kind of give an abbreviated report, executive director's report this year, because we're going to be talking about some other things in a minute. But I do want to say that we have made great strides this year in promoting our strategic plan. And as you know, our strategic plan focuses on 4 pillars: advocacy, education, member engagement, and business services. We've excelled at each one of those areas. This past year, we had a lot of advocacy, a lot of legislation working in the General Assembly, dealing with issues such as land use, preeminent actions to take away authority from local governments. We've dealt with wireless, we've dealt with solar, a whole host of environmental issues that are across the waterfront. And so we have a great VACo team, but not only a great VACo team, we do this with partners, with you all. We really rely on your grassroots work and working with our legislators, understanding our issues, and reading our newsletter, and following up and helping us advocate for counties across the state. The next thing is business services that we do. We have really grown our partnerships. I don't know if many of you see this sign up here. This sign is growing and growing and growing each year, which is great. It's great revenue for the association, but it's also great services that we think that you can take advantage of. You look at VACor, workers' comp, what they do. Look at VACo VML Finance. Some of those groups really provide key business services for you and your counties. So we're continuing to grow that, continuing to vet all those companies and try to provide the best services, offerings for you all. The last thing I want to talk about is our educational programs. Our educational programs, we have a new Director of Education with Angela. She is really focusing on the Certified Supervisors Program, which is our flagship program. But she's also jumping in there. We're doing webinars. We're doing specific topic areas. We have a new Supervisors Forum coming up this March. We have a Finance Forum coming up this January. So we're really trying to find ways that maybe not everybody is interested in advocacy. Maybe not everybody is interested in business services. But everybody can take advantage of education. There is no substitute for continuing adult education. And so we try to make those happenings, make those offerings out there to you more. But let me talk just a second about our Certified Supervisors Program. I said I was going to give a brief Executive Director's report. That is my Executive Director's report. But I really want to recognize right now our graduates from our Certified Supervisors Program. We have been doing this program for 13 years. And we have had over 80 graduates. And I got to say, I am a proud graduate of this program. And it's a fantastic program. In the past, this program has been run by Mike Chandler. He's one of our main facilitators, one of our main speakers. And Mike would love to have been here this year. He's been here every year to actually do this award presentation. But Mike has had some health problems and is out of commission right now. We hope that our thoughts and prayers are with Mike, and we hope that we can get him back and get him engaged again in the Certified Supervisors Program. But I really want to recognize the graduates. Mike and I want to recognize the graduates this year. And we have nine graduates. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the graduates up. If you can come up, and I think our President Reeves is going to give you a certificate, and we can get a photo. Yeah, go to the side over here. Okay, let's begin with Robert Babiak, Louisa County. Bob. Can you come forward? Oh. Bob is absent. Bob must be stuck in the breakfast area. All right. Floyd Brown. Floyd here. All right, Floyd. Congratulations. I want to recognize Jim Crozier, Orange County. Congratulations, Jim.
Should have gotten stuff like
Amy DeBoe, Matthews County. Amy, congratulations, baby. Garland Hamlet, Charlotte County. Congratulations, Garland. Kay Perantoni, Charlotte County. Cindy Shelton, Stafford County.
Go Stafford.
Is that kind of like Go Hokies? Or? Marlene Waymack, Prince George County. All right, Robert Westbrook, Lancaster County.
He's on his way down.
On his way down, okay.
always late.
All right. Do we need a group shot, Gage? Or?
We can do one later.
Okay, we'll do a group shot later, but if some of the other if they come in before before we finish, we can recognize them. So we don't want to leave anyone out. So anyway, Mr. President, that concludes my executive director's comments. Thank you all for allowing me to be your executive director this year, and hopefully next year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Next, our committee reports, Credentialing Committee, Judy Little.
Good morning again. Good morning. And thank you to the staff and Dean and presidents, presidents now, presidents future and past. It's a pleasure to be able to stand before you and give you our credentialing report, and we want to give Vicki thanks for compiling this report for us. Mr. President, I am pleased to report that all 94 counties have paid their dues and are eligible to vote this year. The Credentials Committee met yesterday afternoon and determined that 86 counties are properly credentialed to cast a total of 163 votes out of a possible 171 votes in today's meeting. On behalf of the Credentials Committee, which included Mr. Rudolph Jefferson from our White County, Mr. Paul Tramp of Spotsylvania County, Ms. Murray Biggs of Montgomery County, and Mr. Larry Mosley of Lee County, We appreciate the opportunity to serve. Respectfully submitted, Judy Little, Surrey County Chairman. Mr. President.
Thank you, Judy. Our next is a resolution committee report. Steve.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the resolutions committee, so the steering committee is at 7, and we met, I believe it was Sunday evening, all evening, different times. And this is what they had worked off of. This is pretty much the draft of the 2020 legislative program. And what you see, we had them out back, I think, is that right, Dean? The green sheets. If you're colorblind, I can't help you today, okay? All right, so anyway, take the green sheets and look, and that's the changes that we have made, and we went through that with a fine-tooth comb and had another meeting yesterday morning at 7:30, very early, and rehashed some of those items. But I think one of the biggest changes is the proposed overarching priority that we feel like that is, I call it the iron is hot, so it's time to strike it. We have a new General Assembly coming in, and so that is very important that counties provide the same core services to their residents as cities and towns, but have very limited taxing authority. VACo supports granting counties equal taxing authority to that enjoyed by cities and towns to enact local taxes without referendum. That is very important to VACo this year. And as a Board of Supervisor in Ottaway County and speaking to you now today, as President-elect and getting to be President, if you have a new representative, you need to meet them now, okay? That's your homework. Between here and Christmas, send them a Christmas card. Don't ask them for anything yet. Get them in January, okay? That's my advice to you. Mr. President, if there's no questions or comments, I'd like to put this in a motion form to accept these addendums to the 2020 legislative program. Got a second over here, Mr. President.
Thank you, Steve. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next up is our nominating committee report. Ms. Penny Gross.
Thank you, Mr. President. The nominating committee met yesterday afternoon and considered a number of candidates, including 3 candidates for second vice president. Let me read the slate that we have agreed upon and offer to the membership for election. For president, Steve Bowen from Nottoway County. President-elect, Jeff McKay, Fairfax County. First Vice President, Meg Bonke, Stafford County. Second Vice President, Jason Bellows, Lancaster County. Secretary-Treasurer, Donald Hart from Accomack County. And immediate past President, continuing, will be Sharon Alsop from King and Queen County. The regional caucuses met on Sunday afternoon and submitted their list of candidates for the regional caucuses, and I will read those now, and if you are present, would you stand, please? From Region 2, Ruth Larson, James City County. From Region 3, Canova Peterson from Hanover County. Region 3 also, James Holland, Chesterfield County. Region 4, Dan Lee, Dinwiddie County. Region 7, Jeff Black from Caroline County. Region 8, Victor Angry, Prince William County. Janine Lawson, Prince William County. Kathy Smith, Fairfax County. And we are leaving 2 seats open. There are a number of new supervisors in Region 8, and they are not eligible to be appointed yet to represent their jurisdictions. So that will be made later, sometime next year. From Region 9, James Griffith, Allegheny County. Region 10, Jerry Booth from Floyd County. Region 10 also April DeMotts from Montgomery County. Region 11, Billy Martin from Botetourt County. And Region 13, Larry Mosley from Lee County. Past presidents would be Penny Gross, Fairfax County, Judy Little, Surrey County, Mary Biggs, Montgomery County. We have 9 new members of the board recommended from the regions, and there will be additional ones made next year. Mr. President, this concludes the report of the nominating committee. Mr. President, I move the slate of officers. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Congratulations to our new officers. And now we'll have the installation of our officers and directors. If I could ask all of you to please come up front.
Line up in front of the guys.
Yeah, they were in the corner.
If you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
That I will support.
that I will support
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States,
The Constitution of Virginia.
the Constitution of Virginia,
And the bylaws of the Virginia Association of Counties.
and the bylaws of the Virginia Association of Counties,
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
and that I will faithfully and impartially
Discharge all duties.
discharge all duties
Incumbent upon me.
incumbent upon me
As an officer or director.
as an officer or director
Of the Virginia Association of Counties.
of the Virginia Association of Counties,
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Okay. Sorry, I'm always
Before we turn it over to our new president, I'd like to ask Dean to come back up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, as I was talking about the Certified Supervisors Program and recognizing this is our flagship program and a great training opportunity for localities, local government officials, 2 of our other graduates have entered, and I want to recognize them with their award also and their achievement. Bob Babiock, Louisa County. Congratulations, Bob. And Robert Westbrook, Lancaster County. For those of you who have not been through the course, I just can't tell you how intense this course really is. It's about an 18-month process, lots of homework. It's not just showing up to meetings. It is lots of homework and lots of take-home stuff, and they have lots of thinking and actually essays that they have to write to participate in the program and to receive the award. I think we're going to do a picture engage after the ceremony, after the business meeting. Okay, we'll do a group photo after the business meeting. So if all the award winners, achievement award people can stay around, we'll definitely get a photo. Mr. President, that's all I have under other business. I'll turn it back.
Let's